Hi guys, it's Inga again. This is part 2 of my journals from the 100-day project in 2024. If you've been following my Instagram, you know that I've participated this year for the second time in the 100-day project. Last year I also participated, and then I did something a little bit smaller. I made these cards, one a day for the 100-day project, and I really enjoyed them. I enjoyed them so much that all through the year I thought of them with so much fun, and I really wanted to do something again this year. And well, this is it. I started out in the small journal. You can see the video on my YouTube, and this is part 2. When I realized I ran out of space in the small journal, I had to come up with something new, and this pointed me into a couple of YouTube videos how to make your own junk journal. And so I did. I made 3 how are they called? In Nederlands it's katernen. Signatures, that's what they're called. I couldn't remember. So these are all vintage papers that I had. This is ledger paper, maps. These are not vintage, but they have a vintage look. Old music. This is encyclopedia paper, and this is obviously not vintage but new. This came from Elizabeth Craft Designs, the Reminiscence paper pack. This is an old postage stamp album that I decorated. I first painted it and then decorated with rice paper in a natural theme. I love the greens, I love the blues and the browns. Those are my all-time favorite colors, and you know, I had to decorate them with postage stamps because you know, I do put these things everywhere. I know I'm a bit weird, but I love fish, and well, they will show up in this album a lot this year. So let's just start, and then I will tell you something about the 100-day project, how I got into it, and what my take was. Well, I worked randomly, so I didn't start at the beginning and then ended at the last page. I just, whenever I felt like it, because you have this is a rather large page and then a small one. And what I found is this is from an old book in Dutch. It is an old catalog, and I really didn't want to put too much on this, you know, like here completely covered, no problem, but this, yeah. So I tried to keep as much open space as I could. One thing I really found out this time is that this was quite large, a bit too large. I didn't think I was going to be able to do a double spread every day. I managed most of it, but you know, when the 100 days were done, I am done. I don't want to do these large things for a while now. I want to do other things because it was a bit too much. Nevertheless, I really enjoyed it, and I'm so happy I was able to finish it. One other thing you can see is that not all pages are done, and that's just simply because I ran out of time. There are more pages in here than fit the 100 days. I used a lot of digitals. I never had so many digitals than before the 100 days, and I combined them with things from old books, and again I used up a lot of old stash, and I really like that. This is from a Reader's Digest. I think this one is too, actually. Overall, you will see small things that come from Seven Plaza's DigiKits. She has, I think, 3 major ones, which is Vintage Garden, Field Notes, and another one, the Postal. And I absolutely loved. I love her color schemes, and yeah, I also love her videos. So you will be seeing a lot. And I found something new, which is called the Graphics Fairy. And yeah, they have so many vintage ephemera, and I just love to print it out in different sizes and then use them on my pages. So yeah, that's what this is. Another thing I had never done before, but really enjoyed, is during the 100-day project we had King's Day in the Netherlands, and I used those days to make pages with it. I went a couple of days before, I went searching online for old vintage things, like these old pictures of our previous queens. This is an old card. This one, oh, so pretty. And I used it to make some pages, and I really like that. I not necessarily like pictures, especially not from me, but yeah, this I really did. And here, well, a lot of blues, a lot of birds, and a lot of china. I think I put some china things in almost everything. Like this. This is the postal. This is the DigiKit by 7 Plaza. This is a tuck spot. This was the die by Liz Craft designed. Again, the postage stamp. Yeah, page page collage strip, I don't know. Oh, and yeah, a lot of old things that I used. I really like to digitally how do you say, enhance them, or no, not even enhance them, but make them fit to my needs. You know, I put on my own name here. I went to Rome once, and I love going there. So these pages have not been used. I am going to fill this one up. I really am, because there's not an awful lot left. I think maybe 10 or so. So that's doable. Again, the art dolls by Miles Beyond the Moon. Love her. Go check her out on Etsy. This is Vintage Garden from 7 Plaza. Yeah, and this is graphics, very gorgeous. And all those stamps, oh, I wish. I love them. This is Joey's card making. He's also on Etsy, and yeah, I combined this with the circus figures from Miles Beyond the Moon. This the background pages are from him. Yeah, 4th of May, which is Memorial Day here in the Netherlands, and I wanted to make it a little bit more personal. So this is more the poppies, well known for everyone, but this is a memory from when I was a child. This is where we celebrated is not a good word, where we went to on Memorial Day in the evening. This is a cemetery just outside the village where I grew up, and these are the graves of the Commonwealth, and they are pilots and fallen soldiers, and we always used to go there and then plant marigolds on their grave. Normally they're like this, you know, with the white stones, very plain, but yeah, we planted marigolds on Memorial Day there. The sea, and again another page for Memorial Day, Remembrance Day. And this is a personal story about my grandfather. This just happened to be there. I mean, this is the map from Germany, and here it says Thuringen. This is Weimar and Erfurt, and he was in Buchenwald concentration camp. These are the old pictures from that, and I could not resist not using it. What I loved finding is that this is the 4th Armored Division. They were the first to fight on the 11th of April around Weimar and the Ettersberg, and they came across Buchenwald. So they were the true liberators of Buchenwald. It's always been said that was the 6th or the 87th, but yeah, they were the first. And they, of course, they couldn't stop because they were a tank battalion. And so they moved on to fight the Germans even further. So yeah, something very serious, and then next to a little bit more fun like. But yeah, I love these colors, really do. This is something that I really wanted to use. These are die cuts. If you cut them out. They look very plain. I used Tim Holt stamps for these, and I just made them really old and grungy, and yeah, I just loved it, these two. And these postage stamps are all from old Dutch masters, and this is a Monet, so that's the difference. Was it Monet? Nee, Renoir. Renoir, excuse me. Excuse me, different painter, just as pretty. Yeah, this is an old map from Paris. This was in the Larouche encyclopedia. And yeah, well, of course I had to use Paris. Who doesn't like Paris? I've never been there, can you imagine? I don't like big cities, I really don't. But yeah, it's beautiful. This one's empty, and this is the 5th of May, and that is Liberation Day that we celebrate here. It's always a day of fun and celebration, lots of festivals, but unfortunately it's not a day that our government finds very important, so we only get the day off once in every 5 years, and I really feel that that has to change. I mean, freedom is the most important thing, especially if you look what's going on in the world today. But yeah, and this is my grandfather. He is absolutely stunning in this picture. This was taken in 1939 or 1938, just before the war, and this was him after the war. I mean, you can see how skinny he was. And after he returned from Buchenwald, he came to Eindhoven, but that's where he met my grandmother. And 9 months later, my mother came. But he worked for the Americans, and he drove this truck to pick up everyone that was sort of how do you say that? Repatriëren. Came back to the Netherlands on Eindhoven airport, and he drove them to Eindhoven and to hospitals and all kinds of places, because the rest of the Netherlands were liberated, but traffic wasn't a very good thing to do at that time. Lots of roads were bombed and stuff. So yeah, that's that. This is one of the first pages I made. I really struggled with this one, with the color composition, and again, I didn't want to put a lot of things on here because I wanted to show the beautiful papers. And she looks very, I don't know, cocky, arrogant, I don't know. I don't like the look on her face. Maybe she had some bad news. Oh, I love this duck. This duck, that was the main inspiration for this whole page. Everything else came after, but yeah, the duck was amazing. Black and white. And this, yeah, this is again, because, you know, when I was in high school, I learned how to develop pictures, like the old photographs, you know, in the dark room with the chemicals. And this page shows all these things that you need to develop either film or photographs. So I wanted to keep that inside. This is an old picture from my mom when she was a teenager. Over 60 years ago. So yeah, vintage, very vintage. Again, lots of Seven Plaza, Miles Beyond the Moon. This is also from Miles Beyond the Moon. Beautiful kit. Yeah, I love my greens. I also did a lot more pink than I usually do, but I really liked it. And towards the end of the 100-day project, I started to experiment a little bit more by making these backgrounds and then add on certain ephemera, and then also, because these are all cut out, fussy cutted, and then glued on, and just embellish a little bit more. So the fish, again, the fish, I know it looks ridiculous, right, with it, but I really love it, and just because of the color. I think when I make pages, I think in color. Does the, you know, the diagonals, the yellows, diagonals, yeah, I really like it. I had so many things left over from King's Day and 5th of May, the Liberation Day, that I wanted to do another sort of Dutch page, I guess, with orange and the red, yellow and blue. I know so for the Americans who are watching this, you have the 4th of July and you're very patriotic. And in the Netherlands, it's not very usual to be this patriotic and to show off and be proud of your country. But, you know, I'm really, really proud of my country. Do we have issues? Absolutely. Nothing here is perfect. But yeah, I'm so happy my cradle stood here and that I grew up in this country. So I think that we should be more proud of this beautiful country we all live in. And yeah, I'm really happy with this page. This is from an old graphic 45. And I don't know about you, but I have bought in the past a lot of graphic 45s and then did not use it. Because simply the paper is so pretty and I was afraid to cut it up. I was afraid to do something with it. And so I bought it and it went into the closet and it never came out. So this is because it was already old. I don't even know. I think I've had this for a couple of years. I finally mastered the courage to cut it up and use it. And these birds came from something completely different. The faux postage stamps are from 49 in Market. They really add up. This is again one of those maps. And, you know, look at how the colors combine. I loved it. I really did. So, yeah. Again, yeah. I mean, natural. 7 Plazas, kids, go check her out on Etsy. I mean, that woman has given me so many inspirations. She's always has the best videos, tutorials, anything you can think of. If you want to know an easy and cheap way to make things yourself, go check her out. I cannot emphasize enough how amazing the videos are that she makes. Again, Paris, ton sur ton, as would we say in French. And yeah, purple I find very difficult. I always sort of stick to the more pink tones. Yeah, well, I think it's okay. And then, yeah, this one. We in the Netherlands have a group of women. We're a small group. It's just seven people, but we talk online and we do swaps together from things. And we had a swap during the 100-day project, which is a postcard with architecture. And of course, I gathered a lot of things, and I felt I had to also incorporate it in here. And I'm really, really happy how this page turned out. Yeah, love it. This is an old map from Antarctica, which is the South Pole. But that will come later. This I wanted to do because I just love polar bears. And yeah, they're not on the South Pole, just on the North Pole. So this is Arctic North Pole animals, fish. Whales. I couldn't remember the word in English, sorry. And this beautiful snow owl. And something completely different, more tropical. Dolphins. Not the best page, but hey, you know what? Here again with the color palettes. I did a lot, and it's a recurring thing. And look at these fish. Oh, aren't they amazing? Love the orange. This one I liked as well. Yeah, all kinds of different things. Yes, yeah, that's my cat. You hear. So here are still a number of pages that I have to do. And this one, yeah, this was the hardest for me to do. So I don't know if you know this about me, but I started my working life as a nurse. I've been a nurse for more than 13 years. And after that, I became an infection prevention practitioner. And so this is right up my alley. I mean, bandages, sticking plasters, ointments. This came from a vintage encyclopedia. And here, the recipe. for Malox. Someone pointed out to me, it's very funny that you used poison and Malox on the same page. I don't think it's going to work. This was from a very old, what was this? I don't know. I think it was a magazine. Yeah, I think it was a magazine. And here, this came from a very old book. I hope, yeah, you can see it still in the picture. And it says, for those who can't read Dutch, isolation unit. And that is my job today. I mean, the things that says here, you know, have to, a strict separation of the nursing utensils. I mean, come on, we still do that. And this book came from 1923. Can you imagine? 100 years on and we're still doing that. It still works. Yeah, absolutely, gorgeous. So I didn't want to cover it up too much. I just, you know, made add-ons and tip-ins. I don't know how you call them, but yeah, awesome. This is a very easy one. I think this is Simple Stories. They have amazing ephemera. And yeah, sometimes you have to do an easy page, you know. Those days when you're worked, you're tired. This was the very first one. And yeah, Tilda, amazing. I love Tilda. But again, just like Graphic 45, never knew how to use it. So yeah, I've used a lot this time and it's all gone. Digitals, ephemera I printed out. Yeah, amazing. Love it. So this was the last page, the 100-day. This was actually really difficult to do because I used a lot of in the same colors. But yeah, I couldn't put it together. So, and I was done. And then creativity is not fun if you're working under stress. This is the South Pole. So, yeah, here, look at the walruses, the penguins. Oh, how are they called? I don't know. I don't know. No, yeah, I'm sorry. I have to look it up. Maybe you know what they're called. But yeah. Hè? Papegaaienduikers. Nou. Look it up. Papegaaienduikers. This obviously is not a South Pole fish. But yeah, it looked color-wise. It is now. And yeah, these are from Miles Beyond the Moon. These foxes and the beautiful fountain. And this is Seven Plaza again. Stamps, things, you know. And that's it. We're done. I mean, wow. I'm going to open it here, right here, where it leaves open. So, my big takeaway from the 100-day project, it has been fantastic. When I started, I had a lot of work things and I was swamped. And I really hadn't created for, I think, months. You know, a little bit here and there on a free day, but not regularly. And the 100-day project really, really helped me to take care of myself, to take me time, to create on a daily basis. You know, not every day. Of course, in the weekends I did a lot more than during the week. But yeah, it really helped me to put myself back in the spotlights again and create for me and have fun. And I did. And it was the best thing that I could have done in these last 2 months. So yeah, so even if you're tired, even if you think I don't want to do it anymore, just go create. And maybe you make something ugly, eh? I mean, I do that too, but that's okay, because it doesn't matter. The moment you start making things, everything starts to flow again, and after something ugly comes something beautiful. Not every page in this album or here, even in the small one, is as pretty as I want it to be. Sometimes, you know, I don't really like this one. Maybe it's the look on his face, I don't know. But you know, this either. Hey, but because I made this, I've also made pages that I really liked. And that have turned out, you know, that are still like this. I love this. So, yeah, this is not the best. But hey, to me, this is. And this came because I continued to do this. So that is the main thing for me. Creating even when you don't feel like it. Creating even when you think you don't have the time. really helps you to get time for yourself and to relax. And yeah, I can really recommend it to everyone. So the 100 days are over. What am I going to do now? I'm going to finish this album because there are not a lot of pages left, like a couple. And then I'm going to cut this off and make it into a proper bow. And then this is done. And I will show you something. It's just lying here. This is going to be my new album. I love making this one so much. I found these on Marktplaats here, which is basically eBay in the Netherlands, or eBay, I think. And it was €5. I mean, it was falling apart, but to me, it's absolutely gorgeous. Look at it. And I'm going to make a small journal in it. And because all these end up like this, I'm not going to put a lot of signatures in it, just so eventually when I'm done it will be closable like this, not too much. So yeah, that's for next. And I will be making more little things like these cards and just postcards and collage strips. And I'm also going to try my hand at digitals because I love making these. And then, you know, maybe a little bit smaller or bigger. I've made my own collage strips the other day digitally. So yeah, first a big clean out. I want to clean up my mess. And then I'll see you. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, if you want to know certain things that I used, put a comment in and I will link it in the comments. Thank you and bye bye.